Hello and welcome to Temple of Games. I am your host, Timothy Harper, and I'm going to be talking about what Nintendo's NX starting lineup needs to include to make a great, successful year of 2017. There have been many rumors regarding the lineup of NX, such as Mario and Pokemon games, and I think that would be a great idea to go big out of the gates. But they cannot just stop there. They need a home run early on, so let's start off with the title that has been confirmed for the NX and is perceived to be the launch title for the NX. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think this is a great move on the part of Nintendo because the Legend of Zelda series as a whole is an A-class of Nintendo games. I would almost put this as a rival to the Mario series, and it will show that you don't need a Mario game to open the console. Take your time, Nintendo, with the next Mario game, because that's the mascot, and you cannot rush that series because people want another Galaxy-type game. But more on Mario later on, back to Breath of the Wild, and it's all going to come down to packaging. What they should do is bundle The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild with the NX console, similarly how they did with the Mario Kart 8 and Wii U, respectively. This will definitely sell console units and get the console into the homes of the customer, which is what the Wii U lacked tremendously. Make this edition the ultimate with a unique amiibo from the game that will unlock a new weapon or clothing option. But they cannot just stop at The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as this only big game on launch day. I don't think there should be any other heavy competitors like a Mario, a Metroid, or a Pokemon released, as you can space those type of games out throughout the year. I think they need to port a few games from the Wii U and 3DS that were huge hits on the consoles and wouldn't overshadow Breath of the Wild. The first one that needs ported is Super Smash Bros. 4. This was a huge game on Wii U and 3DS and is still relevant as we still await several more amiibos from the series. If they want this game to do great on the NX, they need to combine both versions of Smash Bros. And make a complete collector's edition of the Super Smash Bros., which includes all the stages from both versions. Plus, not only that they need to add a few more characters such as the Ice Climbers and Wolf, as they were both left out of this generation of series, and they could add a new character such as one of the Inklings of the Splatoon series, as the game is still very popular in Japan. Or I would even say Groose, because many people wanted him in Smash and Hyrule Warriors and did not get him in either. Especially since they are releasing the digital version of Skyward Sword, it would just make sense. Speaking of Hyrule Warriors, I never understood Nintendo's reasoning to create the Ultimate Edition of the game for the Nintendo 3DS. Hyrule Warriors Legends plays okay on the 3DS, and the content is amazing from the Wind Waker storyline to Link's Tale to the numerous DLC characters they have brought to the game. However, everyone I know that plays the game, including myself, just ports the characters to the Wii U version and play on there. There is no doubt how bad I want to see the Wind Waker and Link's Tale in HD on my big TV. I think this would be a great idea to fix a huge error on their part. They could even release a line of amiibos that are compatible with the new version. It's all about money. Well, that would round out about much of March and April, with many third-party and lesser-known games making the NX a staple in the home. What about those hardcore gamers that just didn't get the NX because they didn't see the same company as they did as a kid, didn't have the same games? Well, bring out two fan favorites series that haven't been on the last console, and one that has been dying for and been teased for so long. Now is the time to show your secrets, Nintendo. First, it's time for the new Metroid series game, but it must be a sequel or a similar gameplay style to the Metroid Prime series. This was on the GameCube. Nintendo, if Other M and Federation Force taught you guys anything, it should be the fans need a real and true Metroid game, and you cannot wait later in the system's life to show off the game. Strike while the iron is hot and surprise everyone with a June release date to kick off the summer series. That will gain back some of your core fans because this will show you listen to your fans. Speaking about listening to your fans, Nintendo, now is the time to stop the hints, stop the hiding, and stop the secrets of bringing a classic game to the United States. Of course, I'm talking about Mother 3, as many fans have been patiently waiting for Nintendo to bring this classic with English text to the States. This will be a huge nod to the fans of Nintendo that waited, and shows Nintendo will not make the same mistake as it did with the Wii U. Plus, this is around the month of E3. This is the time to make such huge announcements that the fans will most definitely be craving from Nintendo at this point. In the months of August and September, it's time for the B League of the games to shine, and it's time for either a Splatoon 2 or Bayonetta 3. Splatoon was a huge hit on the Wii U, and bringing its sequel to the NX around this time where there's not much competition is a great idea. bring in new gaming mechanics, and flesh out the fun story mode that was from the first game. However, Nintendo, you guys need to make sure they have a complete game, because not only did they darken the Splatoon franchise, it was when the game released, they didn't have a content they wanted. They did fix with many free updates that give new weapons and accessories and maps. But please, Nintendo, make local multiplayer better, because you gave us in the original was horrible. I still play with someone who isn't online. Now, for some third-party content, people are going to ask, why Bayonetta? Well, Bayonetta is hot right now. It's one of the hottest gaming franchises right now. I mean, it won the Smash ballot. So Nintendo needs to jump on the Bayonetta bandwagon and give the gamers the third installment. Everyone was shocked that Bayonetta was even on a Nintendo console, and people were even more shocked that Nintendo helped back Bayonetta 2. And it makes no sense that Nintendo wouldn't do the same, because the fans love her. Plus, it shows Nintendo is willing to go mature. To compete with the other consoles, it's just a smart business move. Now, for the last few months, it's time to close the year on a big statement with the rumored Pokemon and Mario games. This Pokemon game needs to be the ultimate addition to the Sun and Moon versions. That's the only thing I can think of that would make this a must-buy title in this time frame, as it would be exactly 1 year since the release of Sun and Moon. Not only is it time to the Nintendo Amiibo line of the series, it will give Nintendo a breather on the newer ideas from the Amiibo line. Because there are so many Pokemon that will take forever for this line to complete. What's the function of these Amiibos, you may ask? Whatever Pokemon Amiibo you pick up, you get that Pokemon in the game, thus getting rid of having to import Pokemon from the former game. Also have a great local Pokemon battle system similar to Pokemon Stadium games in the N64. This will make this Pokemon game the ultimate addition. Now, before we get to Nintendo's mascot, there are games that have been confirmed that will be spread out through the year that we only add to the NX lineup. Games that confirmed include Just Dance 2017, both Dragon Quest X and 11, and the much anticipated new Sega game, Sonic, which is slated for the release for holiday 2017. And having Sonic in your lineup is just huge. It shows that all these third parties are going big, and that's awesome for the NX. But now comes the time for Nintendo's favorite plumber, Mario, of course. Now for the next Mario game, this cannot be a 2D Mario game, because let's face it, the new Super Mario Bros., while a fun series, is not what gamers want in the next Mario game. And I think Nintendo gets that, as Shigeru Miyamoto has stated that Nintendo is looking to change the formula for the next Mario game. And I think it's time. Mario changed gaming on numerous occasions. Mario saved the gaming industry with Super Mario Bros. On the NES. He launched 3D gaming, and the graphics and gameplay from Super Mario Galaxies are still amazing to this day. Believe it or not, it has been 6 years since Mario Galaxy 2, and that's far too long not to have a Mario game on a Nintendo console. Now, how would you change Mario? Well, my idea would be for the next Mario game something like a cross between Breath of the Wild and Paper Mario. Mario needs the open world type gameplay from Breath of the Wild, but needs to have the charms and the quirks and the characters that Paper Mario used to give us in its series. And there needs to be a very deep story that will enrich the player to continue to play to see what happens next. A lot of times the Mario games just have a quick tale, there's not much depth, which Paper Mario gave us. People love that series because of the depth story and the characters that people loved. It was just amazing, and I think if they're taking Paper Mario in a new direction, then they need to bring that to original Mario games. You can still have your quirky Mario games like the new Super Mario Brothers, the sports games, the real games. You know, you need a deep Mario game. I think now is the time, especially as a lot of kids who grew up with the N64, like myself, have grown up and were looking for that more enriched story. But we'll have to see what happens with these NX predictions. Nonetheless, while these predictions may or may not come to fruition, it gives me hope that Nintendo is ready to play ball and be a real contender in the three-way console race once again. So for everything NX and everything else gaming, stay right here to Temple of Games, and always remember to play the game.